Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Pick up your logo merchandise by heading over to abvnetwork.com, clicking on Shop, and start filling your basket today. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for something for yourself, a customized gift, or logoed items for your business gift shop, the Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. That's the number 2 in the Bar to Go. Don't forget our friends at Neely Family Distillery now ship their unique distilled spirits directly to you. To order yours, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we're going to talk about what's been happening with bookers recently. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Jim Fosnaught, Kathy Cool, and Tim Swyatt.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. So this is going to be an interesting show. I mean, Booker's has always been popular, but for some reason now it's getting to that next level. It's getting to this Henry McKenna stage now. I see when it comes in, people start telling one another and they all run to the store. And I don't know, like the last one, there's some guy bought like a whole case of it. They're clearing the shelves. I don't understand what's going on. So we'll get into that discussion after the break. For right now, I have something I wanted to talk to you guys about. What is your most prized possession that isn't worth anything? So if I ask, what's your most prized possession, you immediately start going to, I've got this gun that's worth several $1,000. You start going to things that are of monetary value. And I want to say something that's worth absolutely nothing. And when I say nothing, it's no one would buy it. It's not something that it has to be a sentimental type value. And I'll kick it off since I'm asking the question, give you guys a second to think about it. I've got a pretty cool thing. I collect some shag art. And of course, if you're into Josh Agel, or Shag as he's known, as a California artist, that would be stuff that would be, right away, what would you grab? Yeah, my shag art would be something I would grab. But to me, the most valuable one that I've got isn't by Shag himself. It's inspired by Shag. When my dad passed away in 2012, a friend of mine who knows I love Shag drew a picture that looks like Shag drew it, but he incorporated my dad into it, into St. Louis, and brought it over to be framed. It's really cool. He's in his police uniform. It's really just a neat thing. It's worth nothing. I mean, it's not a real Shag, art or anything like that. And it's of my dad. Nobody would want a photo drawing of my dad. But for me, that's something that's incredibly valuable that has no monetary value. So that's what I'll kick it off with. So how about you guys? Do you have anything like that that's valuable to you, but not to anybody else?
Well, the only thing that I would have, I have an original G.I. Joe doll, and you might say it's valuable, but it's beat to crap. Like it's not mint, it's nothing fancy, but it's literally the first toy I remember having. I was probably 4 or 5 years old when I got it, and I still got the damn thing. I miss it. He's missing his left hand. So it's not something a collector's going to take, but it's
right.
Sitting in a box of stuff that I have that I'll it'll stay until I die.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I had some original G.I. Joes when I was a kid. Not from me. I had a couple of kids that are probably 10 years older than me across the street. And when they went to college and stuff like that, their mom brought it over for me, but gave it to my mom. And then I played with it. And then ultimately my mom sold it in a garage sale. And they were the ones who had the cool beards that was real stubble and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All kinds of uniforms and that. Yeah, it was cool.
Yep.
So, I don't have them anymore. So that's what happens with most of those things. Anybody else? Yeah. Anybody else? Okay. What do you got?
So my grandpa, loved my grandpa. He loved the 4th of July. He used to let us play with bottle rockets when we were like 3, 4, 5, before it was ever appropriate. But he didn't want us to burn ourselves. So he made a lot of things. Like he was a tinkerer in the garage. So I have this thing that has like this wooden handle and like this metal thing. It's like a chute, and it's like welded together. And we would put our bottle rockets in it when we were literally toddlers to shoot them off and like not hurt ourselves. I still have it, and it's literally worth nothing, but it's in my lockbox with every important document I've ever had.
Spectacular.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff you're looking for.
Yeah.
Something that Everybody would be like,
Bottle
wait a minute.
rocket gun.
If they got it, they would throw it in the trash because it's not,
No,
yeah,
it literally looks like a piece of trash. Like you would not know what it was unless you were part of the family. And somehow I ended up with it. I'm like so happy that I have it. So yeah.
There you go.
Well, you're right. Rather than lighting your bottle rockets out of your hands.
Sure.
You know?
Oh, what a good
bottle.
moment.
He gave us a whole
That's
metal
right.
chute with a handle to
That's
not
right.
hurt babies. Genius.
Yeah.
It is.
Tim, you got anything?
I got one. Yeah, I got one. So I'm pretty sentimental when it comes down to grandparents, and both my sides have taught me a lot of that. All that fabricating things, working on cars, this, that, and the other. So I hang on to things forever. One thing that I have when both of them passed that nobody wanted were all their old license plates from all the years, from all the cars. So my garage is scattered with barrel heads, Bourbon signs, and old license plates from each of the cars. And I can remember memories in each one of those license plates over the years.
Cool.
Yeah.
I
So
like
I hang on to those forever. They don't mean anything to anybody. People come over, family comes over, their own kids come over, they're like, oh, yeah, you got the old license plate from the RV. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything to them, but there's memories upon memories there. Every time I pull out of the garage, I look at that. I'm like, yep, been there. Want to recreate that somehow if we can before the kids get too old, which they're already too old. But that one, old license plates mean nothing to nobody, but I have all the memories of those license plates. It's fun.
Yeah, that's cool. Kathy, how about you? Anything?
Man, I think I am like a cold, heartless person, or I don't like stuff because I'm having a hard time thinking of anything that isn't valuable. That if my house were burning down, what would I grab? Probably all my dog's ashes.
Ah, there you go.
Oh,
I would say those aren't worth anything.
That's
I keep them all in urns. They all have their own urn with their picture on it and everything. And I mean, they could burn. They're ashes, but I've been holding on to them.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Yep, that was sweet.
There you go. That's our stuff that we have that's not worth anything, but it is worth something to us. All right. Well, guess what, gang? It is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Jim. Jim, what do you got there, man?
Well, since we're talking about Bookers, I thought I'd open up Bookers. I've got Tagalong. It's a well-loved bottle. There's probably not much going on here. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go next because I'm expecting the exact same pop because it looks like about the same bottle and about the same amount left. So this one is Kitchen Table from 2018.
I almost opened that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Jim's was actually better. Mine was worse. Of course, this one's probably valuable now because they got the restaurant called Kitchen Table. So this is probably another thing I got that is really worth anything, but I own it. It's going to be worth even less pretty soon. All right, Tim, how about you, man? What do you got?
All right, I'm going to keep the Booker's thing going. I grabbed the Backyard Barbecue from 2018. See if I can even get these things are so hard to open up.
They really are.
I had to start mine with the pocket knife. No, nothing. Complete silence. McNew,
It's
you're
almost
next.
like you turned your mic off.
Yeah.
Also grabbed a Booker's. I have the 2020 Boston batch.
Okay, that's our lead right there. Pretty pathetic, but that's the lead.
Which is
That's
sad.
what I believe right now.
All right, Kathy, it's there to be won. What do you got?
I got 2018-03 Kentucky Chew.
Wow, we got 2018 represented well. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Hello. Not even questionable. That one's
good.
Easy win there. So pretty good. Kathy's pouring hers, and then we'll do a quick cheers, gang.
Yeah, and
Cheers.
good job, everybody, for representing. Usually I fuck up and don't bring like the show bourbon, but good
Hey,
job.
everybody did. Everybody brought it today. So
That's the first time I think I've ever been one that everybody's done it.
Yeah, I think so. But we've got another show coming up. It'll be interesting to see how many.
Oh, God, that's good.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. All right. What we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about Booker's and why do we think all of a sudden it is getting to that cult-like status. We'll do that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and I'm excited to announce a brand new partnership with Leatherwood Distillery in Pleasant View, Tennessee. Many of you have perhaps heard of Leatherwood via our co-host on the Bourbon Daily, Kaylee Baker, who works there. Well, they're now an official sponsor of the network, and we look forward to everyone getting to know a little bit more about them. Company founder Andrew Lang brought his brewing and distilling hobby with him during his years of service as a Green Beret in the United States Army. Whether he was at his home base of Fort Campbell or during tours of duty in places like Italy or Afghanistan, Lang distilled whatever was available to him locally. We are excited about getting to know Andrew Lang and his team better via our programming and are planning a trip down there for the ABV Network crew very soon. In the meantime, check them out at leatherwooddistillery.com, where they will ship bottles directly to you, including their special Remembering 9/11 series, which is raising money for military charities. Seriously, get out there, buy some bottles, help a good cause, and let us know what you think. We're really excited about this partnership. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and let's talk for a moment about our sponsors, the people that make this show happen. First up is our friends at Moonshine University. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at their office in Louisville. The information I learned through lead instructor Colin Blake and their team there is something that I continue to draw upon frequently in my role at the ABV Network. It truly is the standard of establishing a benchmark of knowledge of the bourbon industry. From history to production to brands and people, it's all there. Check out their full listing of programs, including Executive Bourbon Steward certification, production classes if you're considering starting a distillery, and much more at moonshineuniversity.com. I also want to talk about Neely Family Distillery. Back in May of 2018, I met Royce Neely at Limestone Branch's Craft Bourbon Festival. It ended up not only being the start of a great friendship, I started to truly learn about what makes craft whiskey so amazing. You see, I had been a bourbon drinker for over 30 years at that point, and like many people who had been drinking bourbon a long time, I was hard-coded into thinking big bourbon was where it was at and craft was on a journey to get there. Spending time with Royce and learning the things he does to make his whiskey taste better started to really get me to appreciate how things like sweet mashing, open top fermentation, pot distillation, and the grains you are using not only makes your product taste better coming off the still, but also out of the barrel as well. I still love heritage brands and they make up a bulk of my collection. But when you find a craft distiller that is truly dedicated to the craft of distilling, you are drinking some of the best whiskey out there on the market today. That's exactly what's happening at Neely Family Distillery today. Check them out on the web at neelyfamilydistillery.com, or better yet, stop by and see them at their distillery in Sparta, Kentucky. And now, back to the show.
I'm Davey Waltz.
And I'm Adina.
And you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we are talking about Booker's.
Yes, we are. Booker's, of course, is one of the OGs of the resurgence in bourbon. That's kind of was at ground zero when things started to turn around. And, it would still take, another decade for it to really get rolling. But that was one of the bright spots in the turnaround of bourbon. And, it's kind of sat around and, it's had through the years popularity, I would say, but never been super popular, never been one of those that you could never find or anything like that. Now we're getting to the point where suddenly it is that way. You see the Facebook groups go crazy when it starts hitting the store shelves. We just had it in St. Louis. I don't know, a week and a half ago, something like that. It started hitting the shelves and you start seeing those posts. It's out there and people are grabbing it. And like I said, going crazy. One guy grabbed a whole case from a store. So, what do we think's happening here, folks?
I think it's the next one that you can find. And so it's kind of like the next of the rare, it's after Blanton's, after Henry McKenna. You can't find those anymore.
Right.
You've been able to find Booker's. It's a great one. So now everybody's latched onto that one. And I just think it's the next one that's going to become like Blanton's until we find our next unicorn.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is basically on the extinction list in my mind, because you really can't find Blanton's anymore. And if you find it, it's mostly overpriced. And again, it had such a great play. I think Blanton still is a great bourbon if you're going back into that $50 to $60 price range. But now where we're at, $80 plus price tag, if you can find it at that. Most stores, again, are charging a premium. A lot of times it's not unusual to even see it for $200 or more. Crazy to think about. I'm not paying that. But do you think this is the road we're going down here, gang, with Booker's?
I think it'll be a matter of years before we see it like in the allocated raffles.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't expect it anytime soon, but like 3 to 5 years, like, yeah, I think it'll be a raffle to get it at some liquor stores.
Well, be curious to see what the retail is, or what, not suggested retail, but what they're selling it for in liquor stores in the next 6 months.
I would agree.
It was a $50, $60 bottle 4 years ago. It's what, $90 now, I think, MSRP, but what are stores selling it for? And it's, you're seeing it at $100 already in stores. You're going to see it at $150 in December when people are looking for gifts and can't find anything.
Yeah. I think we're headed this way. Tim, how about you, man? What do you think?
If you think about it, scarcity creates value. So what I can't stand is any of the bourbon groups around me. It's like, oh, Big Buffalo Trace drop, go get them. It's like Swarm. I'm like, come on, whatever. I mean, what are you gonna do? You can't take it with you. And you're starting to see that now too as well. Big Booker's drop. Who would have known?
Right.
So I think, to be honest, I think what Fred did and what Bing did by saying, hey, last year we could only do 3. We couldn't do 4. It used to be 6. We're starting to create some scarcity out there. The quality's not there. That opened the door for Trace to say, okay, yeah, that's a smart marketing move. They outplayed us first. Now all of a sudden it becomes you got to get Bookers because you can't get it. It may be becoming rare. I think they created their own monster here. From the marketing team doing it, who knows if the product's there or not? I would think it would be because the No family owns this one. And I appreciate that. And I think knowing that quality that they know that the family's bringing on here is creating that buzz, and the folks that are in the know, that truly know, are
lots of
respecting
no's.
that product.
Wait, which no? N-O-E?
Freddie or Fred?
Oh, Fred. For right now, it's Fred managing this one, right? So it's I think they created their own problem with that one in trying to keep the quality up. So now you've got all the bourbon hunters dragging around and taking it off the shelves. Who's going to deal with a case of Bookers? The only reason why you're buying a case of Bookers, you're not going to sit there and enjoy it with family. You're going to sell, you're trying to flip it. And then you've got all the boxes that are showing up for smokehouses and things like that. You're seeing the people reuse the boxes for smoke cocktails, which is great. But buying a case of Bookers, there's only one reason for that one I can see, and that's trying to flip it again.
Yeah.
And what's it going for on the secondary?
Well, can't be
Nobody
much.
knows, right? Because we don't look at the secondary.
Yeah, I don't. But I bet you. I don't know. We'll guess 200. We're going to guess double what the high store price is. But
Do you think if they went back to 6 releases a year that it would become more accessible? Probably, right?
I would think so. Right. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, you got Knob Creek 12 out there, and you can find it everywhere. This last Booker's is 6.5 years old. So you would think they'd have more of those aged barrels to produce it, and especially at that price. I mean, you're charging twice as much as you are for Knob Creek 12 for bourbon half its age. I know you're getting a barrel strength, which makes a difference there, but you just wouldn't think it'd be that scarce at that age statement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you go in the way of Scotch, right? You have all the Scotch nerds that want an age statement and they won't touch the Scotch. Now bourbon has had the no age statement stuff is there. You have Macallan no age statement, and they can add caramel coloring. That's why it looks older, right? Scotch allows that caramel coloring. Bourbon, it doesn't. Make a great point there, Jim. With all the age stock, look at MGP. They were out of age stock now. They sold it all. Where are you going to find a 95.5 MGP rye at 12 years? Good luck.
Yeah, you're not. You're not. No.
Exactly.
I do think I don't know that McNew's right about. I bet you Booker's in 2022 is regular in the raffles. It's like when all of a sudden Blanton's became a part of the raffles. It's like, what the hell? How did we get here? And I bet you that some of the liquor stores are going to start holding it back, and it's not going to be something you buy on the shelf. It's going to be held back for raffles to create excitement, because it obviously draws people in, and that's what the raffles are about, drawing people in, right?
And that's on the consumers, right? Because how many times a week are we going in being like, hey, do you have Bookers? Do you have the new Bookers? They're going to be like, oh yeah, but I'm saving it. That's we cause that as consumers.
Yeah, it's coming.
You're going to see them holding half of, if it comes out 4 batches a year, they're going to hold half of each batch for a lottery, and they go, oh, you can buy this stuff from the beginning of the year that you can't find anywhere.
Yep.
Hold on to for 6 months a year for the raffles. What you're going to see.
Okay. Coming soon. Yeah, so there you go. It's been a favorite. And I think our next show we'll be doing is a memorial service for Bookers. We're not going to be drinking it anymore. It's just not going to be out there. And the more I just get less and less inclined to be excited about running out to a store and trying to be part of that stuff. So I'm more about finding what's good and available on the shelf and just being happy. And if I occasionally stumble across something, I'll do it. But, I got to save the things where I run to the store for the things I really want, like Little Book or the Yellowstone limited edition. These are the things that I don't know if you call them chase because at least they've been accessible. I've been able to get them, but I don't know where we're going with some of this other stuff. Bookers included.
I was in a larger store today and watching a young couple go across the line. They didn't see what they had. There was no Blantons there. There was no Bookers. There was no Bakers, and they passed on everything else. Like, I'm not gonna bet anything of that. I said, "Are you serious? There's so much good on the shelf right in front of you. There's tons of stuff.
Right.
The Pinhook 6 year just came out. Try
That's
that one.
good
Oh no,
stuff.
it's only 6 years.
Pinhook's delicious.
Pinhook is very good. I like what Pinhook does. So yeah.
Like young consumers, it's very odd, but
Yeah,
hey,
that's
see.
it. Yeah.
Well,
All
they
right.
can go home empty-handed, and we can go home with Pinhook.
Yeah.
There you
We'll take the Pinhook.
There you go.
All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Kathy, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Kathy Cool.
All right, Tim.
Find me on Instagram at SwyGuy2112 or at the private tasting events site on abvnetwork.com.
All right, Jim.
Find me on Facebook at Jim Fazin or on Instagram at FazJim, FAZZJIM.
All right, McNew.
I am on Instagram at McNew ABV and every Tuesday hosting bottle kills and last meals.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got that company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. That's the one to watch out for because everything that we do is out there. All of our shows, our blogs, our book. Hey, maybe you want to contribute to our Colorado whiskey movie. That's out there in the shop. So check it out. Everything's at abvnetwork.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right, great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's chat for a moment about Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you just want to experiment on a small scale on the stove in your kitchen or try your hand at a bigger setup in the backyard, Moonshine Still Pro can help. They have different still offerings as well as accessories and even grains from Goldstone Mill to help you make whiskey on par with what you get from your favorite distillery. They can even assist with a DIY still project by supplying some of the parts you can't make yourself. Check them out at moonshinestillpro.com. At the ABV Network, we're lucky enough to have some great friends. Amongst those friends is the Goldstein family, owners of Goldstone Mill. Goldstone Mill is a full-service mill offering a variety of heritage and heirloom grains. Their unique approach of working with mills around the country allows them to offer you affordable shipping opportunities to meet the unique needs of your distillery or brewery. They will consult with you to ensure the grains you are selecting meets the unique flavor profiles you are looking for. If you are a home brewer or distiller and you're looking for the grains that your local distillery or brewery uses, Goldstone Mill is the place to look. Check them out on the web at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or shoot them an email at hello@goldstonemill.com.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.